Everyone, my name is Leo. I'm 18 years old, and this is week 3 of me building my first AI web app project. And so, this project is about a schedule that will be managed with the help of AI. And so, this week, I had set myself some goals, which were to start adding some AI feature into the web app. And so, I successfully managed to add a bit of something into the app. So I'm just gonna give you guys a recap on last week, what we were able to do, and see the difference with this week. So last week, I don't know if you remember, but we could add a task here, right there, and let's say homework. Oh, little typo right there, and let's say for today. I also added this week time feature because let's be honest, it's not really useful to have to be able to add tasks or exams, but without a time, just like for the entire day. That's not what we want. So I'm just gonna set it to the current time, 8:36. Can add the task, and boom, you see it added right there. If you switch to week, you can actually see the exact time on which it is set right there. And so there was also the possibility to add an exam, which is basically the same thing. And we could edit the task. Let's say we put it a day later, the third. Say right there, you can see it. We could edit the name, or we could actually delete the task right there, like so. But this week, the brand new feature is now we can actually send a message to an AI, which will then create this task event or exam using our input and translating it to actual task. So let me give you an example. Let's say uh, I want to do homework tomorrow. Yeah, like so. So right there, I click the send button, and there you go. Right there, added. So it's pretty crazy compared to last week. Um, so right now, I don't think quite we cannot add time with the AI, but it's pretty manageable to do. So eventually, I'll add that. But yeah, that's a pretty cool new feature, and I'm gonna show you guys exactly how I did it. So let me get into the code. So I'm gonna start from the front end and go back to the back end. I just think it's way more easier to just kind of picture it inside of my head like that. So yeah. So here I've just skipped directly to where we want to see. So here you have your chat input. Uh, it's a casual input that you can put text inside of it. And here you have on change set chat input. So what does it do? So here in the input, we want that each time when the user actually input some text, well, we want it to get stored inside the chat, let's say variable. Okay, so every time that the um, user will type something, well, it will get stored directly into the chat input each time. And so there. After that, we have your submit button, which is where you actually tell the input to send um, send the actual text to the AI. So here you can see I will highlight something form on submit and chat submit. So what does that mean is that this form have the option to be sent, and so when someone will click the send button, this will activate the submit, and it will just it would just transfer it to the Endo chat submit. So every time a user types something and then they click submit, well, it takes the chat variable that got saved, and it's a, well, we're calling Endo chat submit, and let's go see Endo chat submit so you guys can understand a bit better. So right there we have Endo chat submit, and inside of it, as you can see, we have endpoints. I've explained it a bit in week 1, the first episode. And so we have a post and to get. So the post is for the front end to talk to the back end, and the get is from the back end to the front end. There. So here you can see we pass in the chat input, which was being changed every single time you were typing, and we pass that inside the post event. So yeah, and so let's see what does this post event do, and after that we'll see why we use the get endpoint. So the post, which is in the main.py file right there, here you have your app.post parsed event. So first off, we have our first function right there. So here, what does it do? So today we just set it on today's date, and so after that we use the OpenAI library. So basically, let me show you guys at the top right there. Import OpenAI from OpenAI. So when you do that, it actually imports the library from OpenAI and gives you access to different function that is made by OpenAI. And so as you can see there, OpenAI client.chat.completion.create, it's a function from OpenAI to call the actual LLM or AI. And so there you can see the messages part. We have role. So the role is actually to give let's put it like we can say it's context for the AI to understand better what you actually want from it. So here you say role system. So the system is the AI itself, and you give him you can give him whatever you want. But here I sent to him that you are a helpful assistant that parses natural language into structured event data, always convert relative data, blah blah blah. And so this just give instruction on how the LM will answer after to your actual user input. So here we actually put a default user input because we don't want the user to have to each single time say, well, you know, when I send this, let's say when I say I have a homework tomorrow, well, I don't want to explain to the AI each time what I want him to do. I just want the user to tell him straight in human language what he wants, and then I'm gonna do the art part where we transfer that information into code. So right there. So parse this into an event request.text. So this is the text that we input in the front end, and so we say return JSON with title. So what does it do? It's taking the actual text and putting it in like a JSON format where we want a title, a type. So we let the AI decide which type it is. So task or exam, and a date if there's one. After that, as you can see, we have the parse data, which is the data being returned by the AI right there. And so yeah, so this is the data getting sent back from the AI. And so after that we say, well, if that parse data, so the JSON that the AI created, is a task, well, execute create task from parse, which is a function. Or if elif it's an exam, well, execute another function, because we don't want the task or exam to execute the same function. So here I'm just gonna go quick with it, but you can see create task from parse. It's the exact same thing pretty much with the exam, but as you can see, we create a task variable. It gets assigned with the schema as the task create. So it's basically the same thing as when we created task or exam manually. It just now it's the AI using these function. So yeah, and so what does it do? Basically, is that it's store the brand new task that the AI just created into the database task, and so it's the same as usual now, because yeah, your task gets stored in the database, and so that's where the part right there comes in play. And so when we say dot get, it's actually we go fetch the task endpoint, and if you remember right, the task or the exam endpoint go back to the database and come back with the exam or task. So for to make it simple, it's just we input some data, and so this gets sent to a post endpoint. This gets sent to the AI using the OpenAI library, and then the AI itself return some JSON data, which is just a title and a type of task, and then this task or exam gets stored into the database, and then after we go fetch it using the get endpoint, since it's the same thing as before. It's just a task being stored. Now it's just that the AI stored it. So yeah, that's pretty much in big words what is going on when saving using the AI. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. I think it's pretty big, to be fair. And so right now I'm working on something new, a new feature to add, which will be the possibility to actually send your session, or like your school schedule. Let's say from September to December. Well, you have certain classes with different with a different schedule than on the next semester. And so what I want to implement is the possibility to send an image of your schedule of school and to store it inside of your calendar right there, so that eventually when the AI will try to manage the schedule by itself, well, it would see the actual classes and say, okay, so these classes I cannot put, let's say, a lesson session inside of it because they're immutable. So yeah, I think that will be a pretty nice feature, and even without the AI part that will manage your entire schedule, I think it's a pretty nice feature overall. Yeah, so this will be what I'll be doing next week, and maybe I'll also try to add a login and sign up page, so that a new user can save their entire schedule with their username. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this week, and so thank you for listening to that, and yeah,